yeah. It's your boy Shaka B and Mafioso, the Dun Dada coldest ninja with a nunchuck swinging behind his back, aka Shaka Black, aka SB Panther, aka Shaka Fuego, aka Shaka B and aka Shaka Flay. Hey, listen, bro. Listen, we really been talking about these space age games, man. And one thing about these space age games, bro, what I ain't been feeling lately is the fact that none of them ever get done. You know what I'm saying? None of them ever get done. But, you know, I got more hope in Starfield because Bethesda's working on it. And I said this a million times, but 99% of y'all haven't subscribed yet. So I guess I'm going to have to repeat myself until y'all stick around and chill with the kid, man. But anyways, let's get into it.
Come back into
y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, describe. Because me, I know I'm going to stream this game.
Starfield Direct, we are going to be eating good in September.
I know I'm going to be eating it. Well, how far is September from now?
What if I told you
June,
that Starfield just got a lot
bigger? That's going to be around the time the Cyberpunk
details and secrets have been revealed.
That's gonna be around the time Cyberpunk come out.
How in-game system exploration and interstellar travel will work. Along with that, we're gonna
explore
mysteries surrounding Starfield, like what happened to Earth and whether or not Starfield will have advanced intelligent life. Check the video chapters to optimize your experience. Strap in and let's get started.
Man, let's see what this talking about, baby. Man, that gunplay looked awesome. I remember Fallout gunplay used to be the best.
Outlandish rumors and just all of the above.
Okay.
I don't think it's time to go dark just yet, but
hey, I know y'all caught that. They had the pharaoh looking woman in there looking like Cleopatra. If you know anything about esoteric knowledge, the face on Mars and everything, we already had an advanced civilization that traversed the star system way before Elon Musk decided to invent a spaceship to go to Mars. All this, nothing happens, nothing under the sun is new.
Because I'm sure story spoilers will be out there eventually. Now, recently we got our first game.
Yeah, that game, I'm already hooked.
And according to other creators,
give me that traditional Bethesda style gameplay, boy. Give me the mods, man. I'm gonna go crazy.
Something is out there.
Yes, bro.
There's a ton of QA testers out there playing and making
hell yeah
ready for launch. Now, if we take a look at the leaked screenshot, we can see a few interesting details. For instance,
I need a 4090, baby.
AK. Now, this isn't our first time seeing an AK, an official screenshot.
A space AK.
So that's not really groundbreaking. But what it does is it further adds credence to the screenshot's legitimacy. The weapon looks like it's in the series of Kalashnikov rifles. It's hard to pin down what exactly. It looks more like an AK-100.
It just looks like a fucking AK.
AK. Now at the bottom right, it shows the rifle with 30 rounds in the mag and 244 in the reserve. If we take a look at the mini-map on the very left side, the player is on the planet Jemison, and at the bottom right of the mini-map behind the player is the capital city of the United Colonies, New Atlantis. There's about 5 other icons on the mini-map, which I'm assuming are quest objectives, as well as landmarks and resources the player previously scanned.
This is gonna be awesome.
Take a look at the top.
If you don't think this is gonna be awesome, man, I don't know what to tell you.
On the missions menu, and you could do so by pressing tab, which is a cool tooltip. Hopefully we'll be able to toggle those off and on in the settings. Now, if you take a look at the character on the ground, that
I always thought Morrowind was to represent the like that was more like, you know, classic advanced civilization, ancient aliens type when Morrowind came out.
The same rounds found in the Eon pistol and the Grendel PDW.
I need to see the crafting mods. I mean, the crafting options
doesn't seem to be lootable at this time. So maybe the screenshots from an earlier build of the game, or perhaps lootable armor is all random. Maybe there's going to be a perk or something that increases the rate at which armor loot.
That shit better work better than the power armor in Fallout.
A situation where everything is random, but only time will tell. The next thing that we can point out is the rare weapon drop, which is the Grendel PDW. You can see the attributes of the weapon. It has 30 physical damage, 30 energy, 34 electromagnetic, and it causes 10 thermal status effects and 20 radiation.
Let's go, baby.
Also has a minus
that looks nice.
Oxygen.
If it plays like Destiny, boy, I'ma love that shit.
935, which seems normal at first glance, but it actually
Destiny goes so hard.
The overall game economy. In previous Bethesda games, the amount of money vendors could have on hand was on the lower end of things, but with Starfield, it seems like the economy was buffed up. Because if you can sell a rare item for 953 credits, as well as this spacesuit for 20,000 credits,
but that means things gonna cost
how much
more
money some of the vendors will have. We know the end game will require a ton of credits with outpost building and
yes, sir.
So it seems gone are the days of having to fast travel to multiple vendors just to be able to sell everything that you need to sell. This brings
that was fun.
The second leaked screenshot, which shows a loading screen with the character name Dustin in the bottom left, as well as level 2. Now there's a hint below the player's name that says the targeting skill increases accuracy and
man, you know those graphics are going to be amazing.
About these two screenshots, but Godspeed to whoever does
it's amazing. A lot of questions. So amazing.
For instance, can you explore interstellar space?
Let's go, baby.
Advanced intelligent life, which I'll be going over my theories about that in just a bit. But for now, I'd like to go over some new details we recently learned, like how in-system exploration and landing on planets will work. According to a recent discovery, when you approach a planet, you can fly around the planet and then choose your destination to land. If you take a look at this screenshot by Reddit user Vin Kitsune, you could see that New Atlantis is visible on the screen, but before the screenshot happened, it was not visible. As the player approached the planet Jemison, the city of New Atlantis,
that frame rate looks like shit right now.
Likely be able to freely travel in a star system instead of having to get up from the flight controls and go over to the star map to select our destination.
I don't know, them ships do look kind of rink-a-dink still, kind of like Lego block ships. I will say, from what I seen from Star Citizen, they got Starfield beating the ships because those ships look like Lego block ships. Like, I don't know what to say about that.
I figured we'd be able to freely explore a star system. It was kind of obvious, but this does have implications for interstellar space travel. My hope is that while you're flying around a planet, you could set a waypoint or a ping to where you want to land, and that will initiate the landing sequence. This brings us to our next discovery, which is planets will be accurately scaled to real life.
Too modular. I need the seams to be smoother.
Some planets look scaled to give the perception that they are larger than they actually are. According to Reddit user Nimbulin, this is not the case. In the post, they said this, and I quote, "We actually have some evidence of this. According to NASA's handy solar system simulator tool, it could show us exactly how large Jupiter should appear from the surface of Io. To compare it to this screenshot of the same view of the Starfield Direct, they said my simulator image is set to 90-degree FOV, while the game footage should be somewhat lower. Exact value is unknown currently, making Jupiter appear slightly larger in proportion. So if we compare the two images, we can see that the sizes match up pretty well. This tells us that the scale of the planets are going to be massive. It's hard to say whether or not we'll be able to freely explore each planet in its entirety, as I'm sure that there's going to be
all the Elder Scrolls games will be
like massive oceans.
Rockstar and Bethesda have the best open world games. Oh, that's a nice looking shotgun.
I'm not convinced about the scale of the planets, but if they are indeed similar to how they are in real life, this kind of changes everything for me. Starfield really could be bigger than anything we all imagined, but it's best to keep all of our expectations in check. I doubt every planet will be gigantic. Now, since we were on the topic of Jupiter, this kind of raises an important question that I have about exploring gas giants. With a planet like Jupiter being full of hydrogen and helium, with a core that is just unknown, it's unclear to NASA if Jupiter has a solid core or if it's a thick, dense soup of stuff that is 90,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So the thought of being able to explore a planet like that seems just crazy. Maybe we can
I can't wait to get into this one.
Maybe Vasco down there to explore the planets, but it's hard saying. Maybe our spacesuit can withstand.
I know it's going to take more space than Call of Duty, though.
Maybe there's going to be some gas giants that are explorable and then others that aren't, which would lower the overall number of explorable planets, but only time will tell. Starfield has a ton of mysteries, especially surrounding how space exploration will work. We know for certain that in-system exploration will be possible, like we talked about earlier, but what about interstellar exploration? Will we be able to explore interstellar space, as well as have autopilot to freely explore interstellar space, or are we limited to just jumping between star systems? It seems like an obvious yes, but without official clarification, it's hard to say so. I would love to be able to use my ship's gravity drive.
These games are huge, bro.
Let my ship fly throughout the vastness of space, walk around my ship, talk to my crew members.
I wonder what triggered the space exploration games.
Brings us to our next bit of information, and that is Starfield will have an autopilot feature, and you can even assign someone from your crew to pilot your ship. Now, if you take a look at this part of the Starfield Direct, it looks like various crew members will have a skill called piloting, which straight up just confirms autopilot feature. As we know right now, Sam Coe will be able to pilot your ship, and I'm sure Vasco will as well, so we will likely have to get to a point in the story before we're able to use the autopilot feature. This is an aspect I'm really looking forward to in the game. Not only are we going to have to customize our ship and outpost, but we also have to make connections and assign crew members for upkeep and do tasks. It's all
who are going to be the space enemies.
Next up, I'd like to talk about Starfield's story,
who's the enemy,
what exactly happened to Earth, and what impact factions have on the story, and whether or not we will find advanced intelligent life in the game.
The story needs to be some variation of the fact that our atmosphere got destroyed from all the pollution, so we have to go get gold from other planets in order to rebuild the atmosphere. If you don't know what that's from, man, I don't know what to tell you.
Howard, that leads me to believe my theory about aliens might be right. If you take a look at this screenshot of the Sol system, which is our solar system, you can see a desolate planet that is Earth. Now, if you remember from the Starfield Direct and various other trailers, we know what the landscape and atmosphere of Earth looks like. We have a shot of the St. Louis Arch, the NASA launch pad at Kennedy Space Center, but what happened to Earth? Like, what went down? Was it a situation like in the movie Interstellar?
It needs to connect to Fallout. This is after Fallout got rebuilt.
Just a global agriculture.
The world of Fallout.
Or was it something more along the lines of a fallout from a nuclear war?
Right.
Asteroid hitting Earth.
I'm a genius.
Starts in the Sol system on Mars, in the city of
connected to Fallout, so we can have some Easter eggs.
I'm guessing we're going to learn relatively quickly what happened to our home planet. Moving on to one of the central aspects of every good BGS game are the factions. Now, one question I've seen raised quite a bit is whether or not we will be locked into joining one faction, or if we can join multiple.
Of course not.
Shin, the lead quest designer, the early goal with Starfield was they wanted each faction quest line to be independent, and the player will experience each faction as a part of the main quest line. The main quest will kind of give us a
that would give it replayability value.
But their goal with this game is to make the story be more personal and influence the directions that the factions go, rather than forcing you to choose your allegiances. However, your choice can have far-reaching consequences for what that faction is and what it cares about, so definitely keep that in mind during your playthroughs. One of my favorite things to think about with Starfield.
This is coming around along the Cyberpunk expansion. It's going to be fun.
Implications of the story involving aliens, or at least some sort of advanced intelligent life in some way or another. I mean, take a screenshot at the end of the Starfield trailer. It looks like an alien, possibly an advanced intelligent alien. Now, it could be a tamed creature on the character's backpack or something like that, or possibly even Doc Ock arms. But I am leaning forward.
That looks weird.
An alien.
That looks like a dead space creature.
Friedman, Todd Howard was asked about life on other planets, and he said this, and I quote, "It's almost a dream of mine, like in our lifetime that we discover life on another planet." Lex jumps in by saying, especially if it's intelligent life, "I imagine there's life everywhere," to which Todd says the numbers would
I know that guy.
If humanity discovering intelligent life on another planet,
that guy he's talking to does a lot of conspiracy stuff.
Opportunity of at least somewhat fulfilling that dream with the story of Starfield. While I am super excited for Starfield, there are some concerns about the game. It's no doubt that Starfield will have various bugs and glitches, and honestly, it wouldn't be a BGS game if it didn't. According to Todd Howard, Starfield has been playtesting well, and it will have fewer bugs than their previous games, which sounds good, but once millions of people get their hands on the game,
you'll find a lot of bugs.
Problems. As long as there aren't game-breaking glitches that ruin immersion, and coupled with constant,
I was about to say that ruined immersion.
Be okay. I'll personally be installing the unofficial Starfield patch as soon as it releases, which usually works out most of the Bethesda jank, but it's best to err on the side of caution. Another concern that I have is the overall gameplay loop of Starfield. How much of the game will lean on the exploration and resource side of things over the story and faction quests? I'm hoping there's going to be a good mix of both, but with Starfield's main quest only being about 30 to 40 hours long, that means if you're like me and sink hundreds of hours on BGS games, the majority of our time on the game will be exploring the galaxy, surveying planets,
and doing side quests before I even touch the main quest.
End goal of customizing our dream ship and maxing out our character. Let's hope the main quest is fulfilling, because the end game seems to shift focus from being a sci-fi epic to being a Minecraft or No Man's Sky style game. Which, don't get me wrong, I haven't played No Man's Sky, I just hope the systems in place are addictive enough to want to replay. Just like how awesome it is to start a new world on Minecraft and building yourself up. But one of the reasons it works on Minecraft and No Man's Sky for that matter is the multiplayer, which Starfield of course won't have. That's gonna wrap it up with this video. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. If you've enjoyed my
no multiplayer, I mean, Bethesda doesn't really do good multiplayer games, so I don't know. They don't really do good multiplayer games, so I mean, that's not really something you need. That's where Star Citizen and Elite Dangerous Odyssey is gonna probably kill it, is the massive multiplayer aspect of it. It is kind of trash to be in a world that big by yourself, but it just depends on how deep the story is, because sometimes that's better, you know. Sometimes it's better to have a deeper story and no goddamn people around and a bunch of people around in a shallow game. You know, I think they probably learned from Fallout 76 and Elder Scrolls Online that that's not really the business model they should follow. You know what I'm saying? But hey, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe, man. 99% of y'all aren't subscribed, so you know, I need my returning community members to come, you know, so we can get to cooking on anything you like, you know what I'm saying? It's your boy Shaka Billionaire Mafioso that done died, the coldest ninja with a nunchuck swinging behind his back, aka Shaka Black, aka Shaka Fuego, aka Shaka Flame. Whoa. Y'all let me know what y'all think down below, man. It's your boy. I'm out. Peace.